trying to figure out where to live in Austin, but just not sure which part of town is best for you? I get it, it's super tough. Today, we're gonna focus on Central Austin and give you the good and the bad, the pros and the cons. Is it hot or not? That way you can make the decision if it's right for you. Hi, my name is Nicole Cooper. My team and I get calls from people just like you needing help figuring out where to live in Austin, and we sure do love it. So whether you're looking to move today, tomorrow, or somewhere in between, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. Now, what's so cool about Central Austin? Well, first of all, you're gonna hear people talk about the charm and the character above all else. You'll find a lot of Austinites that have been there for years and years, decades even, and just absolutely love it. So talking about that charm, we've got homes, some historical homes from the early 1900s. There are just a couple of smattering from before the 1900s, but those definitely have the historical designation. But that's kind of where town started after it expanded from the river. So Austin has the Colorado River that goes through it, and normally when things get colonized, it's going to be by water. As it expanded, the University of Texas is just north of downtown. Downtown is just north of the river, and the communities we're talking about today kind of cover that central portion of just north of campus up to 51st Street, and we're between the river and I-35. Anything east of I-35 in Austin is considered East Austin, period. So, what neighborhoods we're talking about today? Think about Old West Austin, Pemberton Heights, Briker Woods, Rosedale. We've got Hyde Park, North Loop, that part of town where it's just no HOAs and old school Austin. So coming along with this vibe of character, you will find the most beautiful oak trees as you drive through these neighborhoods because they've been there the absolute longest. So when you're going through Clarksville or Pemberton Heights or Hyde Park, the towering oak trees just go completely over the road. And that's one of the characteristics of these early settlement communities, and that's why people love them so much. Now, as far as construction, we have early 1900s to mid 1900s, and then about 20 years ago, the developers started tearing down lots and putting brand new construction. So we have everything from early 1900s to brand new today. Many developers are trying to come in and put as much urban infill as they can. Of course, they're maximizing their dollar, but we need more homes in Austin because by and large, we don't have enough space for people to live. And this Central Austin area is one of the most sought after areas in town. You could almost think of it as like the Beverly Hills or 90210 of Austin. The second pro is the sense of community. Everyone likes to stick together, and there are plenty of like neighborhood functions, festivals, farmers markets, and things like that that get people out and meeting each other and staying in contact and creating that nice sense of community. In addition, you're gonna have more homes with front porches than you would normally see in the modern neighborhoods. The third best thing about living in Central Austin are the outdoor activities. So you're gonna have parks, you have Shoal Creek that runs through the middle of it, you have Lions Golf Course. Now, it is a public golf course, but it is right on the lake, or it's not on the water per se, but it's right in the middle of kind of the Clarksville Deep Eddy area, and that would be your closest golf course nearby. In addition, you have Westwood Country Club, and it is not a golf country club, but it has all the other amenities. It's world-class tennis, dining, fitness, and swimming. And that's right kind of in the middle of the neighborhoods we're talking about on the western side, on the water, on Lake Austin. Let's not forget about Peace Park. It runs along Shoal Creek, and once a year they have Eeyore's birthday. Think Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore. And it's a cool kind of, it's a pretty hippie vibe out there, and they have drum circles all day long, but all of these homes are within walking distance or certainly biking distance from Peace Park. And then you're gonna have your little neighborhood pocket parks like Ramsey Neighborhood Park. And then over on the Hyde Park side, you have the Hancock Golf Course. It's just a little 9-holer. It's more, think like a little practice area, but it is there, and it makes for a very nice green space in the middle of Hyde Park. The next pro about living in Central Austin is the food. I mean, you are not too far from a good restaurant any direction you go. Some of the kind of the highlights of that area, we have Uchiko, we have Foreign and Domestic, Olive and June, Ludi's, we have the Honeymoon Summer Bar. It's just limitless. Even the grocery store, Central Market, has a great restaurant there. So if you're living in Central Austin, you can easily find good food at your fingertips. And guess what? The next pro, there is public transportation. If you've seen some of my other videos about the surrounding areas of town, we don't often have great public transportation, but when you're in Central Austin, you can catch the bus or the train sometimes, depending on where you go. Our train, only goes one direction, one way, north and south, from Cedar Park down to downtown, so it doesn't make any kind of circle at all, but it does come right through the middle of Central Austin, so if you live by it, you can make use of it. The last pro about living in Central Austin is the commute time to anywhere. Because you're in the middle, you could absolutely work anywhere in Austin and minimize your commute hours on the road. So we do have the public transportation, but in addition, we are a car-centric city, so most people are going to be driving to work or to their entertainment or to drop the kids at school or to go golfing or whatever they do. And when you live in this central part of town, it is super easy to jump on any highway and go any direction. I have two in-between things to tell you. It's not a pro or a con, it's just a thing. In Central Austin, you will find a more liberal kind of lifestyle, a more almost hippie-leaning vibe, and that's just the way it is. And secondly, the schools that it feeds into McCallum High School and Austin High. Both get grades of an A on texasschools.gov. The McCallum is 93 and Austin High is a 90 out of 100. So either high school you go to, you'll be in good shape or relatively equal, let's put it that way. So what's not so great about living in Central Austin? Well, it's the prices. I mean, on average, homes close for $1,600,000 in the area, and that puts it at about $625 per square foot. So it brings a premium. Anytime you're living on a park or at the park or on the water or in Central Austin where you don't have to drive very far, you can get on the bus to get somewhere, you're going to pay a premium. Austin is one of those towns where people want to be downtown. Everyone wants to live as close to the action as possible, and in Austin, typically speaking, that's downtown. Our festivals happen downtown, the theaters happen downtown, the entertainment district, for the most part, is downtown. Of course, we have the Domain and we have some south areas, but it's a strange city in that everybody wants to be near the middle. And the closer you are to the middle, the more expensive homes are. The second con of living in Central Austin are the taxes. We do have property taxes here, and the higher value your house is, the more taxes you're going to pay. On average in Austin, we pay about 2.3% on the assessed value. Now we do have some homestead protection here, so that means if you're living in your home, that you can file for homestead exemption, and that will keep your taxes from growing more than 10% per year. In addition, it will give you a little bit of a break on just your taxes every year. So keep that in mind. If you do own your home and it's your primary residence, you make sure you get that homestead exemption to minimize those property taxes. Next, the next thing that isn't so great about Central Austin living is the parking. There's street parking everywhere. So even in the larger communities like Pemberton Heights, you do have homes that are, going to have more of that two-car garage situation, but by and large, people park on the street because there's not enough parking. You have a lot of little bungalows spread throughout the nicer, newer homes with garages, and there isn't even a garage or a carport to speak of. So in these types of neighborhoods, you're going to see a lot of street parking. In addition, there's no HOA. Now this could be a pro or a con depending on how you look at it, When there's no HOA, there's no rules for people to pull in their trash in time or park a certain way or paint their house a certain way. So you get a lot more freedom, which I think is a pro, but there's no one to kind of come and force those little neighborhood ideas so you keep your neighborhood looking nice. So food for thought. And lastly, the last con is there's no golf country club in the middle of this neighborhood. You're gonna have to drive a little bit to get to one. Austin Country Club would be your closest, but the membership is full right now. Now you can get on the waiting list, of course. The next closest will probably be Great Hills or Westlake Country Club, depending on which direction you go and which part of that central Austin you live in. And at the moment, they both have some memberships available. However, Great Hills is projecting that they might close for a little while for some remodel. It has to be voted on by the members. They have not voted yet. But if you're thinking about joining somewhere and you want to play right away, make sure you ask those questions before you spend that big initiation fee. And at the moment, Austin Country Club is $100,000, so is Westlake Country Club, and Great Hills is $50,000. And I expect if they do the remodel, once they come back from the remodel, that Great Hills will probably double their initiation fee as well. All right, so those are our pros and cons, the good and the bad about Central Austin. Do you like it or not? Comment below and tell me if you think it's hot or not. So guys, on the good side, we have that sense of community, character, pride, big trees everywhere. We've got outdoor activities, food destination all the way around. We have the school grades are good even on both sides, so it doesn't matter if you're kind of flowing into McCallum or Austin High, they're about the same. You know, it's pretty expensive to live there, so that makes the taxes a little bit higher, and you're not in kind of a golf country club community per se. But if you like tennis, Westwood is your country club. So tell me, would you like to see more? We're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. So just send us a text, an email, give us a call, and we'll meet you there right away. And until next time, I hope to see you around town.